The 3 ways to actually record your online course, coming up right now on the Rise to the Top podcast. And welcome, my friends, to the Rise to the Top podcast. It's your great and good friend, David Siteman Garland, here in episode number 52. Now, first of all, you could probably hear the uptick in energy in my voice here today, as I think for the first time in I don't know how long, weeks, I probably don't have a cold. I really don't have a cold at this moment, which is a miracle because with 2 kids under 5, apparently I'm destined to have a cold for the next, 10 years. So that I'm very happy there that my voice is basically returned to normal here on the podcast. So I wanted to talk about a very specific subject today, and that is the 3 ways to actually record your course. So after you've outlined your course and after you know exactly what you're going to be doing, how do you actually record it? What are the 3 different ways? So we're going to get into that. And by the way, a lot of people have been loving these short episodes of the podcast. Some people have also wanted some longer ones. We're going to have a mix for you. Don't worry. Got you covered. All kinds of great stuff here coming up on the Rise to the Top podcast. Brand new episodes every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central, covering all things about the world of online courses and how to create, promote, and profit from your own online course, how to launch, how to create everything. We cover it all here. We have a lot of fun here on this podcast. All right. So we're going to talk about the 3 ways to actually record your course. The first one is the most kind of typical, or we'll say it, the most popular, and that is talking over slides. So we're talking about whether you have Keynote or whether you have PowerPoint, it doesn't matter, but talking over slides. Now, this is particularly great for courses where, they're less visual. For example, it wouldn't be a cooking course. It wouldn't be a how to play tennis course. It wouldn't be anything like that. But if it's something less visual, a lot of times PowerPoint and Keynote can be a great way of teaching that information. Right? So PowerPoint and Keynote are a very, very simple way that you can do it that a lot of online courses are done, especially business courses or things that are related to teaching someone that, again, is not visual. Now, the easiest way to shoot something like that is with just a microphone, your computer, and then some kind of screen capture software. So what a screen capture software does is simply records your screen. So my favorite one is ScreenFlow. That's what I use on a Mac. And ScreenFlow is an absolute beast. It's like $129. It is worth 1,000 times $129 because not only does it record your screen, it's an easy editor, especially if you're not tech savvy or you don't want to do some kind of fancy schmancy editing. I edit these things so quickly and I am by far not a techie person, right? So ScreenFlow records my PowerPoints, it records anything that's on your screen, and that's an easy way to record your PowerPoint or your Keynote, right? Camtasia is a similar piece of equipment, little software. Not equipment, it's software for a PC that will record your screen. So the PowerPoint or the Keynote, the slides, good to go when it comes to shooting an online course. That's the first way. Again, that's the most popular. Now, something I would encourage for your course is that even if you go PowerPoint the whole time, Keynote the whole time, and that's the way most of my courses are, is that you're going to want to have an introduction video when people log into your course. When they first come in to your website, you're going to want to have a welcome video where it's you on camera to connect with people, because that's very important. Like, people want to see you. They don't necessarily need to see you when you're doing your slides in your Keynote. That's not really important. But when someone logs in, it's something that's important. We call it kind of a welcome video where you're on camera saying hi to people. And that can be something that can be shot as easy as you possibly want it to be. It could be something shot on a phone. It could be something shot on a webcam on a computer. Of course, you could use a DSLR camera. Whatever it is, right? It's really easy. The good thing here about creating content now, and we're talking about 2019 and beyond, the good thing about creating content now, as opposed to years and years and years ago, is how easy cameras have gotten. It used to be ridiculous. Now it's really democratized about cameras. You could literally hold up an iPhone and do your welcome video like that because people want to connect with you. And so that's something that I would recommend, even if you're doing Keynote. So all your presenting during your course is going to be on slides. That's 100% awesome. But do that little welcome video and just say, hey, listen, I want to welcome you to my course on, whatever. And just want to let you know that I'm super excited to have you here. I just want to come on video and connect with you. As we get into the course, I'm going to be hopping behind the computer, getting behind the slides, because that's the most effective way to teach this and to learn it, and blah, 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 blah. So that's a really simple thing that you could do if you do PowerPoint or Keynote. So PowerPoint or Keynote, the good old-fashioned slides, that's option number one. Now, if you have something more visual, and it's more the, cooking or sports or dancing, or I'm coming up with a million random examples, right? Then you're going to want to be on camera for your course. You're going to be wanting to teach on camera. And by the way, some business courses even are on camera as well, if that's something that you're comfortable with in front of a whiteboard or something like that. So you could do it if you feel comfortable with that as well. Now, what do you do for that? Well, one option is to be a self-shooter. So that's a little trickier, especially if you're doing something in motion, but we're talking about DSLR camera. There's a million options for them, but the key is external audio. You want to make sure that you get good audio with the recording of your course. You want to have some kind of audio device. Here's one that I have right here. Let me just grab it. It's called the Rode Rode. Let me grab it right here. It's just a Rode microphone that's like a little boom mic that you can set up, and you could put it near you when you're on your course. You could also do a clip-on mic. There's a million different options that you could do. And quite frankly, this is something that's very easily YouTubeable. If you go on YouTube, you can find dead simple setups for shooting your own videos and things like that. Like I've got this Canon EOS 70D camera, and I have it connected to this little Rode microphone. We turn it on. We've got a couple settings. It's off to the races. It's nothing complicated for what I do, right? So option number one is kind of the self-shoot there, the self-shoot. Option number two is that you can always hire a local videographer, which would be more than worth it in most cases, especially if you really have any budget for this as well, is hiring a local videographer, because then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about becoming a camera master. You don't have to worry about editing it or anything like that. A videographer could do that for you, and there's plenty of local videographers that are looking for business like this, and that this would be a great match for. So I would search your local area for videographers. One thing you could always do is you could interview 3, pick the best one, and go from there. If you're even worried about that, you could contact local universities. If it's more budget conscious, you could even contact local universities that have a film school or videography type of school and ask them and say, hey, listen, is there someone that I could hire for a little bit? And who knows? You might even be able to get someone for free for credit. I don't know, but you can get creative with this as well. So it's kind of the self-shoot option, or get someone to do it. Obviously, the benefits of a professional are exactly that you're going to make sure then that the sound's good and it looks good and it's lighting good, and it just takes a lot of burden off your plate, where then you can be in your zone of genius, which is doing your teaching. So that's the other option. So option number 2 is on video, on camera, boom. Now, number 3 are screencasts. Now, screencasts are basically videos of your screen on your computer showing people what you're doing. So if you have a course on email marketing and you're showing people how to set up the email marketing and blah, 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 hey, I'm inside of Entreport or Infusionsoft or, ConvertKit, and I'm going to show you how to do it. That makes sense. Anything that requires something visual on your screen, kind of like shrinking someone down and putting them on your shoulder, screencasts are another great way that you can shoot your course. So with screencast, by the way, ScreenFlow or Camtasia, easy peasy. It just records what's on your computer. You can easily edit from there. It's literally drag and drop editing. It's awesome. It's so easy that even I can do it, which is a strong statement. And that's another great way to shoot content for your course. For example, great course that I love, one of the great courses on podcasting by Pat Flynn, Power Up Podcasting, is that he's got a great point where he shows you how to edit audio. So he's like, okay, I'm here in Adobe Audition, and all right, I'm going to click this button and blah, 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 blah. And you can see exactly what he's doing because he's doing it via screencast. So if you want to show something, screencast. Now, to conclude here, these are all not mutually exclusive. You do not have to choose one and stay in that lane. You might have some things on video. You might have some things on PowerPoint. You might have some screencasts. So don't think that you have to choose and stay in a lane. It really comes down to 2 different things. What are you most comfortable with in terms of being able to deliver the content to people? And also, what's the best way to learn this material? If you think those 2 things out, what's the easiest, best, most simple way, it'll start to become very obvious how you can shoot your online course. And you can just check off another major thing here off the list. So that's the breakdown of the 3 different ways you can actually record your online course. So it's the slides, it's the on video, it's the screencast, or a combination of 2 or 3 of those. So making it really simple for you. Love hearing that. And by the way, I've heard some amazing stuff here from podcast listeners. We actually just got an email. Let me find this email here. This is really cool. We actually just got an email from a podcast listener who was saying that just completed his first course launch, Jason McCoy. He's an avid listener of the podcast. I love hearing that. And he was saying that he took so many tips from this podcast that also helped him with his course launch. His topic is how to grow your voiceover business with email marketing. How I love that. How specific is that? And Jason just finished his launch with 22 buyers with a total of $14,000, $14,593 was the total, if you want to get specific on that. So big congratulations to Jason, who's a big podcast listener. Keep on keeping on, my friend. That's an incredible start to your course. Keep on down that journey, my friends. All right. Well, that wraps it up here for the Rise to Top podcast. And reminders on the way out, make sure to subscribe at therisetop.com/subscribe. That will make sure that you get a brand new podcast delivered to you every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central. And if you're sitting there thinking, you know what? I like hearing Jason's story. I like hearing all this course stuff. I would love a step-by-step system to show me exactly how to do this. I'm talking about everything, as well as the community and support to go along with me so that I know how to exactly create, promote, and profit and launch my online course. What do I need to do? Well, you are in luck, my friend. Go to createawesomeonlinecourses.com/unlock. You'll get a special offer just for podcast listeners to join my #1 program with over 5,000 students in 100 countries that have created courses on everything under the sun, from baby sleep training to clarinet for adults. So make sure to check that out, createawesomeonlinecourses.com/unlock. I will see you next time here on the Rise Top podcast. And remember, if you want some fluff, you know what to do. Go pet a bunny.